All right, I'm not even going to have an opening clip for this one. Okay, we're just going to get right into it right now because first of all, this is 3 movies. So,
yes.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, first of all, we can start here. It's Star Wars Month, though. Press
Happy
play.
Star Wars Month, everybody.
Woo!
I am so excited. So, this is episode 17 of the Press Play podcast. I'm Ian.
I'm Seth.
Yada, yada, yada. Facebook.com/podcast Press Play. There's no time to dawdle because this is going to be a long one. So if you're not busy, that's great. Strap in.
Yeah.
Because we got 3 movies to cover.
Yes, we do.
3 long, grueling movies.
Oh, jeez.
So we're going to start with the Star Wars prequels, and next week we'll get into the originals. And this is not going to be a 100% bash fest, I promise, because there are things that I do like. I don't love, but there's good things I can say about the prequels, but there's a whole lot of bad. And I don't want to focus on that too much because I also want to say good things, but there's just so many things.
There's so many problems with these screenplays that I rewatched them here yesterday and today. I watched The Phantom Menace yesterday, and I had to stop.
Right. But like we said last week, we are going to avoid Jar Jar.
Yes.
Because
he is the least
easy
of my concerns.
That's too easy.
Rewatching these movies actually reinforced that point. Because he was not my biggest problem.
Well, he never was the biggest problem. No. He was just annoying.
No, and matter of fact, I wouldn't even go so far as to say he's a problem. He's a symptom.
Yeah, what he does is distract people from what is actually wrong, because people will actually say, well, Jar Jar was the worst part of Star Wars. He was far from the worst.
No, he wasn't.
He was just annoying. That's all. And annoying characters I can deal with. Because they're not, it's just a movie. Like, there are annoying characters in other movies that I really love.
What I can't deal with is nonsensical script writing.
Absolutely not. So, we'll start with how this whole thing started. Was basically this little tiny planet that no one gives a shit about is being blockaded by the Trade Federation, which you don't know what that is. Am I boring you already?
Sorry.
I can't. Was that actually real?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. This is already bad.
That's oh my god, the Phantom Menace. This is boring stuff, dude. So little happens in this movie.
No, not well. The first maybe 10 minutes, and then you don't see another lightsaber for another hour.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, no, because you don't get a lightsaber that often in the original trilogy, and it's fine.
That's because there's only one lightsaber in the entire galaxy in the in the first 3 films. In this one, you have an entire order of Jedi Knights. There should be lightsabers all the time. Well, there shouldn't, but you understand my point.
Yeah.
You barely see a lightsabers because there's only one dude walking around with one. Well, 2. But who cares? My point is that you send these Jedi Knights to deal with this conflict. I'm already confused. That's not what Jedi Knights should be doing.
It's not what I thought they should be doing.
No, they were supposed to be. I understand they're keepers of the peace, but this is more of a political matter.
Yeah.
They're not politicians.
So why are they there?
They're space wizards.
Exactly.
That's awesome. With space wizards with laser swords. And you've got them dealing with politics?
No.
Give me a break.
I mean, first of all, let's talk about how stupid the Republic is set up. Okay, first of all, who's the Trade Federation?
We don't know.
We don't know who they are. Are they part of the Republic?
We don't know.
Well, obviously they are because they have a seat in the Senate. So, the Republic has sent the Republic
to deal with the Republic.
To deal with trade sanctions on the Republic. Already my eyes are crossed.
Yeah, but you also don't find this out until later in the movie when you see that they have a seat on the Senate, which just reinforces what you're saying, and I get it. Why not just... it makes absolutely no sense.
It's a waste of time.
Once you get to the Senate part and you realize that the Senate is basically at war with other people in the Senate, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And the entire anytime that there is anything to do with the actual Senate bores me to tears.
Yeah.
Because
anything on Coruscant is boring.
Except for the Jedi Temple. That's cool because you get to see where the Jedi hang out and, what they're all about. But when you're actually
But what are they about? Because you're not shown.
No, you're not. You just see
all they do is sit around in a circle and talk.
Are we talking about the Senate or the Jedi?
Both.
Yeah, exactly.
All these people do is sit down and talk. Sit down and talk. That's all they do. There is no consequences to anything. Well, I don't get why this is the story that Lucas wanted to tell. Because it's not engaging.
There are parts of it that I understand because it makes sense from a storytelling perspective, from a perspective of the Chancellor. Because he's the one using something very small, like this tax dispute, to get himself into power. But there's better ways you could have done that.
Oh, yeah.
A million better ways to do it.
For instance, after that all goes down, they land on Naboo. They have to go through the planet core, and who cares?
Yeah, that was dumb.
That brings me to something. You find out, if you really watch, that it is not necessary for Jar Jar to be there at all.
It never was.
No, because first of all, he says what's going to happen to him. He pretty much says he's going to be executed. And so they take him with them because, we might need a navigator to get to the planet core. And
they don't.
And then they don't because he says, the Force will guide us.
Yeah,
so we never needed him to be there.
Qui-Gon's giving directions like, hey, go head that way.
Jar Jar passes out.
All he has to do, the only thing that Jar Jar served, the only purpose he served was to take them to where the Gungan City was, and he didn't even have to go in, just be like, there it is.
Yeah.
And just fuck off for the rest of the movie, whatever. But yeah, he served no purpose for a lot of this movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a problem. Okay, I have one problem with Jar Jar, and it comes in a different movie.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Because, oh my God, I'm going to spoil this. It was the biggest slap in the face to any Star Wars fan that is out there right now.
Yep.
Oh, you might know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking
about. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Okay.
So we get to Tatooine, and why we're there, I don't know. Oh, I know why. It's because it was in the other movies.
Yeah.
That's why.
And there's a lot of this movie that is actiony and CGI and fun, but is pointless. Them going through the planet's core is pointless. You could skip that whole scene, nothing happens.
That whole scene could have been cut.
Yeah, the pod race makes no sense for it to be there.
Nope.
You don't need to show it.
No, it's because Luke was supposed to go real fast.
You had to show that Anakin was so in tune with the Force because even Qui-Gon said, you must have Jedi reflexes to race pods, and Anakin said, I'm the only human being that can do it, but cut the race down by 15 minutes because that race is long. If you cut it down by 15 minutes, you'd be fine. It still shows that he's a great pilot. His reflexes are quick, but it makes no sense, and you have the stupid announcers that are the worst part of that entire scene.
Yeah. And again, there's another way to show that Anakin is strong with the Force.
But you know what they give us? Midi-chlorians.
This is the biggest slap in the face of any Star Wars fan.
When this movie came out, I was 9. I was not the Star Wars fan that I am now. I didn't understand what was going on because there's so much explaining in this movie.
Oh yeah.
I didn't understand the Senate scenes because I was 9. I didn't understand why he was testing his blood because I was 9. I thought laser swords and robots and awesome force powers, which are really cool.
Yeah.
You get to see force powers you've never seen before, like force speed. That was awesome. Now I'm watching it as an adult. Midi-chlorians are insulting.
Yes, they are.
They are ridiculous, which is why in this movie and this movie alone, they are brought up and never referenced again. I don't think you watched them today. Were midi-chlorians brought up in episode 2 or 3?
Yes.
Were they?
Once. I think it was in episode 2, and it's a fleeting And in episode 3 when Palpatine's giving his little monologue to Anakin in the theater or whatever they're watching the CGI.
Okay.
But
see, I forgot because they talk about they bring up midichlorians a lot in this movie.
They do, and it's first of all you're taking what made the Force special.
Yes.
And it was a spiritual thing. It's what made these people great. No, now it's science. No,
it's always the Force was always supposed to be magic.
Yeah.
It was a magical entity that pretty much imprinted itself onto other life forms at random.
Mm-hmm. Now Lucas has turned it into superpowers that can be detected with science.
Through your blood.
Through your blood. That's stupid.
Yeah, and it also makes no sense. What does bacteria in my blood have to do with me being able to lift something that I'm not even touching?
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Even by Star Wars standards, that makes no sense.
It completely circumvents the logic of the original movies.
Yeah, but he just had to. Basically, what he did was he took Star Wars mythos and tried to explain it with Star Trek logic.
Yeah, and
because
it doesn't work.
Everything is technical in Star Trek. Everything.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be a plausible future.
Yes.
This isn't. This is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is a fantasy in space.
This is space wizards and laser swords.
Yeah.
We don't need science.
I don't need the Force explained other than knowing it's there and seeing it being used and how it affects people around you.
If you there are many people like this. If you only watch the movies and maybe the TV shows, you don't read any of the books. You don't subscribe. You don't go deeper into the mythos than just the films. You don't care how a lightsaber gets its power because it just does. No one in my life ever needed to explain to me how a lightsaber got its power.
Nope.
I didn't care. I never
didn't
cared.
want to know.
Yeah, because I don't care.
It's a question I didn't have.
Nobody did. I wonder what is that? Nope, don't care.
And there's lots of other things in these movies that are not explained and you're just expected to know. Like, what is a Sith? Within and I'm going to ask you this question. Within the movies themselves, the core movies, no external films, no TV shows, no comics, no books, within the course of the scripts, what is a Sith?
I have no fucking idea.
You have no idea because they never effing tell you.
Nope.
Who they are, what they are, why they are. You don't know. They're just bad guys.
Pretty much.
And they have no motive. Finally, when Darth Maul tells Palpatine on the balcony,
I was going to bring this up.
We're going to reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Finally, we're going to have our revenge for what?
Revenge against what?
What had they done?
I don't know. They'll never tell you.
They never tell you. Ever. Throughout the course of all 3 of these movies, they never, ever tell you.
Not even in the new movies, they don't tell you. Never.
No.
They never tell you. I don't even know if they probably do, maybe in the Clone Wars TV show, but that's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
Because those didn't exist at the time. All you had was episode 4, 5, and 6, and episode 1. There were books, sure, but treat me like I'm a child, which is what Lucas does. Treat me like I'm a child and I don't read books. I just came here for a Star Wars movie.
I mean,
revenge against what?
We don't know.
It's okay to just be a bad guy and have bad intentions, but when you bring up the subject of revenge, you have to explain it. Because if you're just a bad guy trying to take power and the Jedi are in your way, that's good enough.
But yeah, if you're going to bring up revenge, like you said, I've got to have context.
There is none. Absolutely none whatsoever.
It's never explained.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
And so, and when someone says something like that in a movie, you never write anything or show anything in a film without it coming up later. It has to pay off. You show a gun, it has to be used.
Chekhov's law.
Chekhov's law. So when you bring up the subject of revenge from your main antagonist, then. And you never talk about it again, ever.
Not in 2 or 3 do they bring it up.
No.
It's just they're bad guys, which is fine. Just be bad guys. No one cares. because in episode 4, Darth Vader is just a bad guy.
Yeah, he's an SS officer.
Exactly.
The Empire was basically Nazis.
They were space Nazis.
Yeah.
Which was
fine.
Yeah, we were all okay with it. We didn't, because in the crawl we knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Darth Vader was bad, and we knew what his motivation was. And throughout the film, he was just a bad guy because this organization, this empire, is bad guys. The end.
Yeah, but we're on Tatooine. Jesus, this movie. We're on Tatooine.
We're just on the first one,
and we meet little Anakin. And little Anakin is
a shit.
Well, he's the start of the biggest problem with these movies, and that is putting the focus on Anakin Skywalker. He should not. He wasn't really the focus in this film, but in the other two, he is, and that's a problem. These movies should have been Obi-Wan's story. Obi-Wan should have been the main focus. He should have been the Jedi going off on adventures, and they find Anakin or some. But here's the thing: Anakin has to be all of these things. He has to be a slave. He has to be a genius. He has to be a mechanic.
Force wielder.
He has to be a force wielder. He has to be a dreamer. He has to be
innocent.
Innocent. He's too much, and you never develop any of it.
No, and a problem that I have is the fact that Qui-Gon exists, because in episode 6 or Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan says, "I thought I could train him as well as Yoda."
Yeah.
But when you come to episode 1, you were against this almost the entire time until Qui-Gon dies.
It's because Lucas forgot about the other movies. He forgot what was written. It's like he didn't watch them.
And that is overwhelmingly apparent in episode 3, because he realized, oh wait, there's these other movies that exist called episode 4, 5, and 6. We got to start killing people.
Yeah. And it does. So we get to Qui-Gon's convoluted plan because they can't get the part with Republic credits.
Which makes no sense.
Which makes no sense. So they have to come up with this bet scenario that double crosses and triple bets and double or nothing, and who gives a shit? Why not reveal yourself as a Jedi?
Say, we'll come back.
Say, we'll come back with real money, and if you don't, I'm going to be really, really mad at you.
I understand why they didn't reveal that they had a queen on board, because like the Hutt, if the Hutt discovers that she's a queen, they'll take her, hold her for ransom or whatever. Yeah, but I agree. Reveal yourself to be a Jedi. He even tried to use the Jedi mind trick on Watto, and he's like, "What do you think? You're some sort of Jedi?" Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm a Jedi.
I have a laser sword. You want to dance? And I'm taking the kid, by the way.
So, but we find out later that Anakin has built a fully functional pod racer in secret.
With spare parts that he's just stealing, apparently.
So this is what the movie has just told us. 3 people have come to this planet and could not buy a part with money. But a slave boy could steal all the parts he needs to make a pod racer. And if that's possible, why didn't he just steal the part they needed?
I would also like to point out that they used the word slave in this film. Now, I went to history class, okay? I know what happened in Egypt and the early Americans. That's not really slavery, what you see in Star Wars. He has a job. He has a house. They're well fed. What part of this is slavery? He's like, hey, you can go home now. They have jobs. They're not allowed to leave.
They're indentured servants.
Yeah, they're not allowed to leave because they have devices in their neck, a la Suicide Squad, that if they try to leave, they'll detonate. That's it. They're pretty well taken care of.
Yeah.
The term slavery is a bit subjective.
In this movie, yes. And that's the other thing, is they introduce the idea of slavery, and the Jedi do absolutely nothing about it.
Throughout 3 films, they do nothing.
The Jedi in these films are fucking worthless, dude.
And it doesn't even get brought up after they leave Tatooine. They don't go to the Jedi Order and be like, hey, we found this kid who was a slave
Let's go back and
yeah. Let's go
back
free
and
them.
Let's liberate this planet. That could have been. Imagine what a better movie that would have been. They find Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. They find.
And what makes less sense is Amidala actually asks Anakin's mom, why doesn't the Republic step in? She says the Republic doesn't exist out here. Really? Because you're in between Naboo and Coruscant. How are you not on the radar if Naboo, which was apparently farther away because they were trying to get to Coruscant and ran into your planet? So you're in the middle of these two things. How does the Republic not know about this? Because they're not in the Outer Rim.
Because this movie is stupid. That's why. These scripts, there's a. Did you ever see the documentary, the behind-the-scenes documentary that came on the original DVDs?
I don't believe I have.
You watch Lucas and dude, he wrote these scripts in one draft on legal pad. I'm not making this up. And then you see them screen the first cut of the film. And you watch all of them react in the most horrific way possible. They know they've got a mess on their hands. They release it anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this movie was garbage from the beginning. And you see Lucas going out. He's looking at the creatures and whatnot and behind the scenes, and he's like, "Oh wow, I guess I better be writing this script pretty soon." He's serious.
Oh, can I just mention how horrifying Yoda looks in this film?
Oh, dude, I watched them on Disney Plus. They changed. He's not a puppet anymore in the first film.
They CGI'd him?
They CGI'd him in the first film. There's no expression on his face. He looks terrible.
Dude, he looked terrible as a puppet in that film. It was awful.
I don't know where was the original puppet?
I don't know. Yeah, what happened? Did Frank Oz
torch it?
I don't know. Okay, so some stupid shit happens.
Actually, nothing happens. They go back to Coruscant and talk, and
that's all they do.
That's all they do. And then Senator Palpaba, he goes and tells Amidala that she can do a vote of no confidence. Okay, first of all, this entire Senate thing is off the rails dumb. Because she goes in there, they go back to this planet because the Trade Federation is blockading. They're under attack. They've taken the planet hostage, basically.
Sure.
So they go back to Senate and tell them this, and they want confirmation.
Yeah, well, so you've got these Jedi Knights here telling you this.
How about the Jedi Knights that were there and saw it firsthand? Let's bring them in to testify. That never happens. No, we got to replace the Chancellor because Palpatine has to give him the power.
That's another reason the Senate is set up so stupidly, is because instead of taking a vote for action, which everyone gets a vote on if they would act, no, we just need to get that guy out. That's dumb.
It is dumb.
What you should have done was say, hey, we're going to take a vote. Should we help these people? That's how government works. You don't replace the one person in charge just because I don't fucking know.
And then she said that he says, "Will you defer and let us go investigate?" She should have said, "Yes. How about you come back with me and you'll see what's going on?"
Or how about, I'm the queen of this planet. I was just there, and so were the Jedi Knights. It makes no sense.
How about I just go sign the treaty, and then I'll come back and show you that it was signed under duress, and it'll be null and void. This whole plot makes no sense. It's like it was written by a 5-year-old.
Who has no understanding how government works.
And guess what? I don't need government in my Star Wars.
No. Because there is no government in the originals. In fact, when you first see the bad people on the Death Star, they say that the Senate or the Republic is gone.
Yeah.
So you're never going to see politics in any further Star Wars movies from here on out. And you don't.
You don't.
Because they don't belong in a space fantasy.
She goes back. She was going to go back anyway. Oh, my God.
To go be with her people.
So they go back, and then they get the Gungans involved because then she reveals her that she's got a clone, and who cares? Or not a clone,
an imposter.
An imposter, yeah, whatever. her bodyguard.
Let alone the fact that up until now, we didn't know the Gungans had this massive army that nobody brought up ever. All right, cool. Move on. That's what the movie did.
So we're going to have this battle as a diversion so that the Jedi...
No, so you have something to look at.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
That's it. It serves no purpose whatsoever.
No. And then, I mean, frankly, now there is the fight between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
But it's fun. Literally my favorite part of the movie. And that's sad.
It is the only part of the movie that is enjoyable.
Yeah.
And
just because of the choreography is so good. Like, Ray Parks wasn't even meant to be Darth Maul.
No.
He was a stunt coordinator. And they're like, you want to be Darth Maul? All right. Cool.
We'll just dub your voiceover with one line.
He has 2 lines. He says, "Yes, my master." And yeah, he does nothing, which is fine, I guess. But what a wasted villain this was.
That is the second biggest mistake of these movies, is killing Darth Maul.
Well, killing Darth Maul, and they also killed Count Dracula or whatever, in because he served no purpose either. He's just another expendable villain.
So we have no central antagonist. We really don't have a central protagonist.
You've got the shadow character in the background, the Dark Lord of the Sith, but he's just there every once in a while. I know he's the over-looming bad guy, but you have no main villain to focus on.
Nope.
Because
no one coming after you.
Because in this movie, you have the Trade Federation, Darth Maul, and his master. That's too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And battle droids, which are controlled by the Trade, but that's just more bad guys. It's too many things. It's too much.
Way too much.
It's way too much. It's Spider-Man 3 all over again. It's too much.
It's too much and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
I don't either. I like stormtroopers way more than battle droids because at least they sort of have personality.
Sort of. Yeah, you see it every now and again.
Yeah.
You see them chatting back and forth.
Yeah, it's like, did you hear that? Must have been a drill or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, fight. Anakin blows up the control ship by accident.
By complete accident.
Oh my God.
And I have a question. Why is he there?
Why did you bring him?
Why did you bring him?
Well,
I know why. Because the plot needs you to be.
Well, what happened was, he's like, I'm going to bring you, I want you to stay by me, study my movements, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not teaching.
No.
You're just bringing this kid along into a battle.
Yeah, you're putting him in danger. A lot of danger.
Yeah, he should have been on Coruscant the whole time.
Yeah.
Or just drop his ass back off at Tatooine, because the Jedi Order said no.
They straight up
said no. He's too old. What is too young? Or what is too old?
That's never explained either. It's just a stupid excuse.
Yeah, why is he too old to start the training? I understand Luke was too old because he was like in his 20s.
But yeah, he's 10.
No, he's 9.
Whatever.
Who cares? Big difference. Oh, God.
But yeah, so that movie ends.
I would also like to point out that this is the very beginning of the very rushed, very forced love affair that in this movie makes no sense.
No, because he's a kid and she's
14,
15, something like that.
Well, in the Weird Al song, she's 14.
Yeah.
I'm just going by what Weird Al says. But yeah, are you an angel? Fuck you!
And she says, how do you know so much? He just asked if you were an angel, and he thinks angels are from the moon. He doesn't know shit about fuck.
Okay, so Qui-Gon dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's a 20-year-old movie. And then they realize, oh, wait, there was a Sith Lord. And then they give you this is the only thing they ever give you about the Sith, is that there's always 2 of them. Why? Why is there always 2 of them? Why is there only 2 of them when there's hundreds of Jedi? What are 2 people going to do against all of these people? Explain!
It's called writing things out of your ass and not checking it. And going through and rereading it and making sure that it makes sense.
Yeah, you're just writing shit like, always 2, a master and an apprentice.
That sounds cool.
No. That's stupid.
Yeah, guess what? You have given me an entire movie of nothing but stupid lore. This is not character development. You learn nothing about these people. Nothing. You learn nothing about the Jedi. You learn absolutely dick shit about the Sith.
And you really don't learn anything about Anakin that you didn't already know from explanations from the first 3 movies. Because Obi-Wan says he was a cunning warrior, he was the best fighter pilot in the galaxy, and a good friend.
The last one's a lie.
No. Where in any of the first 3 movies do you see any of those things? He is not a cunning warrior. He's a shit fuck that has attitude problems. The best fighter pilot in the galaxy. When? He doesn't do anything that's special.
Oh, because he knows what S-Wills are. He can get drag flips and whatever. Because he knows those things.
He's no better than Wedge.
No.
And he's not a good friend. He's a shithead.
Yes, he is. The entire time.
He constantly butts heads with his master, and he even says, Obi-Wan's holding me back.
Yeah, let's get into episode 2. The worst thing ever made by a human.
Well,
I hate this movie so much. The Phantom Menace is boring.
It is boring.
It's
this
boring.
one is. This movie is insulting.
Yeah. Oh my God, this movie is. Everything you have. Everyone in this movie is stupid. You have to make everyone stupid for this plot to work. First of all, we have the separatist movement. Who are they? We don't know.
Well,
what do they want?
Okay.
We don't know.
Well, what they want is it's basically this group of planets that want to basically secede from the Republic.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's all, but that's all we know is that they just want to leave. That's all. They're not threatening anybody. They're not declaring war on anyone. They just want out.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, fuck you. You ain't going nowhere."
Yeah. And then Chancellor Panda Bear now?
Yes.
He says, will it come to war? Over what? We're 5 minutes in this thing.
They don't want anything but to leave.
So much time has skipped between these 2 movies, which makes the first film completely unnecessary. Because you are introduced to Anakin is a completely different character now.
Yes. Everything about him is different. Literally everything.
Literally everything. The way he looks, the way he acts, everything.
For me, personally, this is where the series should have started, with Anakin as a young adult who was still denied training, but because he was so special, they had no choice but to train him.
Or not even denied training, just train him.
Yeah.
He's just a Jedi.
Exactly. But
his fall to the dark side was supposed to be a surprise and a shame, according to the first movies. In this, he's a shithead from the start.
They spell it out for you. If 4, 5, and 6 didn't even exist, I would already think that this guy was going to turn bad.
Because he already is bad.
Yeah, they're not. They haven't even tried to kill Amidala in her sleep yet, and he's constantly disagreeing with Obi-Wan, constantly saying that he's better than him.
He's bitching him out. He's stomping around being a brat. He's blatantly traitorous. He advocates for a dictatorship in the movie, so she falls in love with him somehow.
Oh, don't forget, he also commits mass murder.
Oh, yeah, he does the genocide thing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I personally think when my significant other commits genocide, it is adorable. I fall in love with them even more every time they do it.
I know. I found out that one of my girlfriends committed mass murder, and I stood there and said nothing.
That's exactly what happens.
I told her that to be angry was to be human.
And that
see how stupid this sounds?
And that you killed not just the men, not just the women, but the children too. And she just stood there and did nothing.
Yeah.
She didn't call his boss.
Remember that.
Yes.
I'm not going to get into this yet, but remember that. He told her that he killed women and children, and she does not care. She doesn't care. Moving on.
Okay. So, what happened was, for some reason, they are targeting Amidala to die.
For sure.
Why? What did she do?
Because she's the main character.
Well, yeah, but she was obviously going to die later on anyway, but they don't tell you why there's an attempt on her life.
No, there just is.
Yeah, there just is.
No, wait, she's coming back for a vote on something. So why kill her?
Yeah, just outvote her.
That completely goes... Had she died, wouldn't that go against the Palpatine's plan?
Well, what they this movie is all about what they don't tell you, and it pisses me off that you have to figure it out. Is that watching it, you know that okay, obviously Palpatine has done all of this, but his plan is so convoluted and just so many steps, like it makes no sense.
It requires for so many things to happen in a certain order. That's impossible to predict. I don't care how powerful you are in the Force.
Exactly. But, okay. So, they try to kill... Whatever. What is it?
Yeah.
Padme?
Padme.
Okay, yeah. They try to kill Padme. And then you get a scene that's just like the pod race. It's just CGI and doesn't do anything.
They're just in a car.
Yeah, and trust me, I could tell they're on a green screen because nobody's reacting to this at all. They look bored.
Yes, they do. They're not looking around them.
Mm-mm.
And the dialogue, oh my God,
I'm sorry,
dialogue.
Master. I forgot you don't like flying. When did that come out?
He tries to establish, Lucas tries to establish that these two have a friendship just by them saying they do. And that's common in these movies.
You know who does that? Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happens, is they don't show you them being friends at all.
You're told about it.
Because in episode 2 and 3 and even 1, they are apart 90% of the time.
Wouldn't you have rather seen the both of them in that nest of Gundarks? Fighting their way out and becoming good friends, as friends do, instead of watching Amidala sleep?
Yeah, there's no anything with these two characters that makes me believe that they're even friends.
I just... Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Because all they do is argue.
They either argue or they're not together.
Yeah, the entire movie. They have probably, 10 or 15 minutes of screen time together?
Not even that. I swear to God, not even that. But the part where they are together, the at the very end, Padme falls off into the sand. He's like, I need to go get her. Fuck the Jedi. Learn your place. Like, really? You're arguing now? How are you still arguing? This fucking movie.
Yeah. Like I said, worst thing made by a human. Because now they find out they're chasing this bounty hunter who was hired by another bounty hunter. That makes a lot of sense.
And he's got this dart. Okay, so I'm going to go to this diner because I know this guy, which makes no sense.
Oh, the pile of CGI shit?
Yeah. Why not just go to the Jedi archives and look it up? I'm sure they probably have it. But no, he has to go to a diner and talk to a cook. He's like, hey, can you tell me what this is? Oh, yeah, that's from fucking Camino.
That's that thing.
That's Camino. That's them cloners, man. You know.
Yeah.
How do you not know about the cloners?
So he gives him the coordinates to the planet, and what does he do? He goes to the library.
He goes to the Jedi archives to find it, and it's not there. So what does he do? He goes to Yoda. Hey, this planet's not here. And even a child was smart enough to figure out that somebody deleted it.
So, Obi-Wan, go to the coordinates. You might find the planet there.
No shit.
So we wasted 10 minutes of screen time, which is a long time in a movie.
Yes.
Just to show a bunch of kids with the little orb thing and the blast shield from the first movie.
No.
Give me a break.
It was just so you could learn that only a Jedi could delete such a thing. Why not just be on your way to the planet and talk to Yoda
from
there? Just be like, hey, I'm on this planet that the Jedi Archive said didn't exist. That's weird, right? Well, only a Jedi could have done that. Continue your search, you must. Okay, well, I'm already here, so it's cool.
Obi-Wan could have come up with that conclusion on his goddamn own.
He is a Jedi Master. He should know that.
Yeah.
So he gets there and meets Jango Fett,
Yay.
which now that I'm watching The Mandalorian, I thought Mandalorians weren't supposed to take off their helmets. Why do I know what this guy looks like?
He always has his helmet on.
Always. I don't even think he's a Mandalorian at that point. I don't. I don't.
First, I mean, you're a bounty hunter that gives away your identity to literally everyone.
Yeah, because there are billions of copies of you made. Everyone knows what you look like. But okay, so and the smallest they try to make it fan service, but it's stupid. He's like, oh, his price was we make him a son that grows at normal rate. Oh, look, it's Boba Fett. Fuck you, movie.
Who cares?
That nobody cares. Jesus Christ, Boba Fett did not even have to be mentioned. Why would?
Why did it even have to be a Fett? Oh yeah, that's right. He was in the other movies,
and he looked like a puss. We'll get to that.
Oh my God. So we find out. Okay, so the movie has told us that there is a conspiracy.
Yes.
That a secret clone army was made without authorization by traitors.
Well, it was made by a Jedi Knight who was dead named Sifo Dyas, who...
But yeah, he's not the one who did it, though.
No, he's not. But the movie doesn't tell you that because Sifo Dyas has been dead for a long time, and that plot line goes nowhere. Once they get off that cloning planet, that thread of storyline just disappears.
Yep, let's forget about it.
Instead of and not even later do you reveal that it was Sidious pretending to be Sifo Dyas, or the fact that Dooku and Sifo Dyas were friends and maybe he did it under false pretense. I don't know. But who cares? Let's move on because that's what the movie's going to do.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes to, what's the other planet's name? The bug planet? Geonosis.
Geonosis, yeah.
He goes there, he gets captured. Obi-Wan does. And first of all, he's in there, he's listening to the group of separatists around the table explaining that what they want, and they don't even do that well. I still don't know what they want. I still don't know what this war is over.
I don't either. But, and we'll get into that in a second because it makes less sense as this movie goes on, and I'll point out exactly what I'm talking about.
Because when he gets captured, Dooku comes in and monologues the entire evil plot to him. He tells him everything. Literally
everything. That, yes, there is a Sith Lord. Here's his name. Join me and we can take him down, or whatever you said. I don't remember. But, dude, he explains the entire thing.
Yeah, the Senate is controlled by a Dark Lord of the Sith.
I don't believe you.
And you can't see it. I don't believe you, he says. Really, Obi-Wan? Really?
Give your balls a tug.
For real.
Because you killed a Sith Lord the last movie.
Yeah.
So if he's telling you that this is the master and he's controlling shit, if you were, let's say you were Anakin and you were captured, you don't know Darth Maul exists because you didn't see him. You didn't fight him. You saw him for a split second on Tatooine when he was fighting Qui-Gon, but you don't know what a Sith Lord is. If you were Anakin and he was explaining this to you, you're ignorant. Of course you don't believe him. But you're Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're a Jedi Master.
And he just blows it off. And Duke is like, okay,
shit.
Whatever.
All right, well.
Let's forget I ever said anything.
Well, then we're just going to execute you then.
Pretty much. So, where do they even go from here? Oh, yeah, this is where they go. Yoda goes to the clone planet. Okay? We don't see him for a little while.
No.
Not for a little while. And so, Anakin and Padme and Obi-Wan are fighting monsters in a Roman Coliseum.
Because Padme and Anakin have to go rescue Obi-Wan because I don't know what the hell she thinks she's going to do when she gets there, but she's like, you were ordered to protect me and I'm going to get Obi-Wan. And then they get dropped into the middle of a video game that we can't play, which is another pointless CGI scene that goes nowhere.
You know what I did when that scene came on today?
Skipped it.
No.
Oh.
I walked outside and I got high.
I don't blame you. That scene is
I
pointless.
couldn't take it anymore, dude.
It's so dumb. It makes no sense for it to exist. I will skip that scene every time.
And when I came back inside, it was still on. That scene goes on forever. It is grueling to watch it. That's why I didn't.
So they're about to get executed.
And then all the Jedi show up.
All the Jedi show up.
I don't know if it's all of them, but it's most of them.
Most of them. This was the point in the movie where I'm already sitting back in my seat, like waiting for the credits to roll so I can leave.
Yeah.
This was the point in the movie where I at least got a little bit excited. Because, okay, this movie has failed me so far in every sense of the word. But here are all the Jedi. Most of the Jedi. This scene has potential to be greatness.
Is it?
No. But that 1 second where you see them all just unsheath their lightsabers, and right before anything happens, you're like, okay, this is going to get good.
That's the only cool part of the movie.
Yeah, and you got Mace Windu rolling up. He's the only motherfucker in this galaxy with a purple lightsaber for some reason.
Because Sam Jackson wanted purple.
Yeah. I don't... and they had to... That's still not even canon why it's purple. Okay, and then some stuff happens, and then Yoda...
Okay, before you say this...
Okay, go ahead.
I want to reiterate that the Jedi found out that a clone army was created in secret without authorization by a dead Jedi, and that they're probably part of the conspiracy to assassinate the senator, because they could tie the bounty hunter directly to this army.
Not only that, Mace Windu even said, I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
Yes. So, what happens? They play right into its hands. Yoda shows up with the clone troopers. Fuck this movie. Oh my God. Are you serious? This is how they get taken over?
I would much rather have seen what happened in between Yoda going to get them and them showing up. I don't give a shit what happens on Geonosis. I want to see what possessed him to think that bringing them along was a good idea.
It wasn't. It was the worst idea ever. Because Yoda basically killed all the Jedi.
Yeah.
According to these movies.
Because he could have gone there and said, shut it down. All of it. Decommission these clones. I want them gone. I want to know what happened. Once he landed, what took place for him to show up with them. Because they never tell you.
No, they don't. And it makes no sense.
He just shows up giving orders.
After they already established and said that we are protectors of the peace, we are not soldiers. But he's up there in the ship giving commands like a damn general. Oh my. Wouldn't it have made more sense for the Jedi to be fighting the clones?
Yeah.
Because they get out and they find out.
Now it's like a three-way battle?
Yeah, because guess what? You were just told that the leader of the Senate is an evil usurper. And you don't care. You forget about it because you're all stupid. Every one of them. And something else we glossed over.
Oh, I believe it.
Anakin has been having nightmares.
Oh my God!
He's been having nightmares lately.
Oh my God!
And his nightmares are about
his mother.
Because
okay.
Obi-Wan asked, are they still about your mom? Well, dreams will pass in time. Oh, wait.
No, you already got to pop out your little forehead vein on the last plot point. It's my turn. Okay. So, yes, he's having these nightmares of his mother. What are they about? They're of pain. Dreams of he basically tells Yoda they're of my mother. Why is she still a slave?
Yeah.
Why did you not go and get her? It makes no sense. If he's having these dreams of his mother being tortured, that is on you. it's also kind of on Anakin, too. Like, why didn't you go get her? Everyone in this movie is stupid.
Exactly. Because later on, when he and Padme are having their little vacation on Naboo, he wakes up one morning and says, I have to go to Tatooine to get my mother.
She's like, okay.
Right now.
Okay, cool.
Not,
I'll go with you.
Not 5 years ago. Not 2 years ago. Not last week. Right now. You idiot.
And I would also like to point this out. You bring Padme, and that's it. Why are you, the senator, former queen of a planet, not bringing backup?
To save his mother.
To save anyone.
Yeah.
To save anyone. A Jedi Knight is not a god. And he's still in training. One Jedi Knight does not equal a group of soldiers.
And he gets there, and it's already too late. So the whole thing was pointless. All it did, it was a stupid reason to make him angry. It was dumb. It should have been way more compelling than that. That is the simplest part, the simplest part of that anger that you could have ever gone.
Yeah.
You left his mother there?
It's lazy, is what
You
it
left
is.
his mother there? So you're telling me the Jedi,
the keepers of the peace,
had no inclination to go get her? They couldn't foresee
The
that
Guardians-
if she ever got in trouble,
the
that it
guardians
would
of truth
corrupt
and
him?
justice?
My ass. No. The Jedi in these films are they're worthless.
They deserve to get taken over. They suck.
do because
they're terrible.
Their advice is awful.
They don't even take their own advice or even follow what they actually are. We are keepers of the peace, not soldiers. We're guardians of truth and justice in the galaxy. Tatooine is in the galaxy. You did dick for years and let one of your most powerful Jedi, who you said anger leads to hate, blah, blah, blah. Hate leads to suffering, all that shit. You left the one person he cared about in this world die. You deserved everything that you got.
And that's a dude, and having the Jedi reject any sort of attachment to another human or person at all is stupid.
It makes sense for you to not take a wife or father children because you have to devote yourself to the study of the Force and that'll distract you. But everyone in the Order had parents. I understand that they were probably taken away from them, but they were not taken away from slaves. All these other Jedi's parents probably are living happily lives, knowing
right
that
there on Coruscant,
maybe, or in all other planets of the galaxy, knowing that their kid is off doing great work, except for his, whose mom you just said, we should go get her, huh? Oh, fuck her. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, not at all. They basically tell him over and over again, just forget about her. Just forget about her. Yoda straight up tells him, forget her.
Dreams pass in time.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That is the worst advice ever, and is not what I would think a Jedi would say.
Or Yoda would say. Because you are Yoda, the most in tune with the Force that we've ever seen, the wisest we have ever seen. And he comes to you, and you know that a Jedi can't see the future, but can look into it, feel things from across the universe. And he's telling you that his mom is being tortured and hurt, and you just like, oh, those are just dreams. Dreams don't mean anything. You know what? Just have a nice latte, some warm milk or whatever, and just go back to sleep.
We have tax disputes to worry about. Take your pain, suffering, and death to someone else.
Nobody cares.
I don't give a shit. So, goddamn.
All right, now we got to talk about the worst part of this movie.
The love story.
Oh wow, there's two worse things in this movie now, apparently. It's getting hot in here.
The love story is so forced and
pardon
unbelievable.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just shoved down your throat.
Yeah.
And
I love you. I love you too. But I can't love you. I can't either. I'm in agony. So am I in agony.
I remember saying this when we did our The Room episode, when we talked about how Tommy Wiseau writes dialogue. No one talks like this!
No one.
God damn it! Okay.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is that everything that Anakin has been built up to be, the person that you're shown that he is, her falling in love with this little shit is not plausible.
No whatsoever. Because she straight up, when they're on Naboo, she straight up rejects him. What happens in between there? He commits mass murder. They almost get executed.
Gives creepy looks.
The end. That's all that happens to these two. And then at the end of the movie, you're married?
No.
No.
Okay, now you go. The other worst part of this movie.
There is no logical explanation for George Lucas to take the coolest character that we've ever seen in these series so far and put a lightsaber in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the theater, the very first time I saw this, I remember I thought it was cool. I was young. And I remember everyone else being verbally upset and anguished. I remember hearing groaning and swearing.
You know what I heard? Laughing.
That too.
I was in my early 20s.
You put a lightsaber in Master Yoda's hands.
No.
For no reason. Because nothing happens. He gets away just fine.
Yeah.
Nothing. It does nothing. Absolutely nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing.
It was just something to look at for 3 minutes. It wasn't even a long fight. What?
And nothing happened at the end of it. He gets away anyway.
And then, for some reason, other than the fact that it exists in the other movies, they're like, we can't let them know what we're working on, and it's the Death Star. Why are you working on the Death Star? That makes no sense for you to be doing that because your plans keep changing. In the span of 2 hours, their plans keep changing.
You're never told what they are. You
Not
don't
fully.
know what they want. You don't know what this war's over. You still don't. I don't know how many times I've seen these movies and tried to analyze why they're so bad. And that's one of the main reasons that you don't know what the conflict is.
Okay.
And by the way, the Senate gave... This is the other stupid part of this movie, is the Senate gave emergency powers to the Chancellor to commission the clone army. So let me get this straight.
No. Wait. This is what I was leading up to earlier in the last film. This is where George Lucas slaps you in the face. I know you hated Jar Jar. Guess what? He's going to be the reason that the Chancellor has emergency power. Because he's the one that called for the vote.
He is.
Fuck you, Lucas. Fuck you.
Because guess what? That makes no sense either. You're told that the Senate will never approve the use of clones and whatever they say. So they either are still in deliberation or they flat out don't want them. So they give emergency powers to the Chancellor to approve these clones.
Which the Senate would already not agree on. Why does emergency power exist?
So you basically had a vote and ratified a sweeping legislation to circumvent yourself. It's stupid.
Yeah, you already weren't going to agree on that, but you voted to give him a power to do it anyway. Was it just to take the guilt off of yourself from making a choice like that?
No, it was so that Lucas could put Palpatine in power.
Pretty much.
That's it.
all.
He had to find some stupid way to do it.
He doesn't understand politics at all.
He doesn't understand how stories work.
That too.
Because guess what? We get to what some people call the best one, and
it's the better one.
It's not.
It's
not. This movie's still bad.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't bad. It's the better of the three. Because at least there's more to look at, I guess. I don't know. Okay, but trust me, the dialogue is just as bad, if not worse.
It is,
if not worse.
And the motivations are just as bad, if not worse.
Oh God, we'll get into that.
So
Yay!
We open up to a pointless space battle, and we're talking about Revenge of the Sith, by the way.
Yes.
Which
Episode 3.
We still don't know what they are. A title of a movie, and you still don't know what they are.
And what are they getting revenge for?
You're never told. Ever. You're not told one time. So we had this space battle, and it's a bunch of shit on screen. You don't know who's who.
You don't.
You see ships getting blown up, and wow, that got taken out pretty good. I guess, is that ours?
And then they get on the ship, and some hijinks happen. That's the best word for me to describe what happens. That's hijinks.
Yeah.
It's stupid and pointless. So they finally get to Chancellor Palpatine, and Count Dracula shows up, and this is where the dumb dialogue starts. Is like Anakin says, "My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count." Who told you that?
Yeah.
Is there like a grading scale, or
are we Saiyans now?
The power levels. Do we have scanner? That's stupid to say. It makes no sense. There's no context behind it.
Oh, and before that, when Palpatine says, "Get help," he's a Sith Lord.
Well, what is
From
that?
who? Where are they going to get help?
And not to mention,
And why are 2 young Jedi not better than one old Sith Lord? Please explain this to me.
Well, not to mention, the only Siths that you have seen so far are Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, Darth Vader. They're calling him Count Dooku. Isn't there supposed to be a Darth there somewhere? That's all you know about Siths, is that they have that moniker.
Yeah, he's Darth Tyrannus.
Is he now?
Yeah.
Well, call him that!
No, Count Dooku. Because that sounds stupider.
Okay.
So, Anakin...
Fight,
yeah. And he subdues him. Subdues the Dooku. And Senator tells him to kill him.
I shouldn't. It's not the Jedi way.
Do it. Okay, fine. And does it. Oh, wow.
My question is, why are you so hesitant to kill him when you had no question killing all of those sand people? Without hesitation. This guy took your arm, almost killed Padme, started a war, killed hundreds of Jedi. I shouldn't. Who is this guy?
He's no one.
Who is this Anakin?
He's not. No, he's still a shit.
Oh, he's still a shit.
Because he does it anyway.
He does it anyway. But after Palpatine goes, do it. What did you say? You got a frog in your throat or something?
Okay, sure, why not?
All right.
And so he kills him. So the first 20 minutes of this film are...
Not done yet with this scene alone.
Okay.
Because you have Count Dooku, unarmed, still alive, blades to his throat, and he just sits there while his master is telling someone else to kill him. I would have spoken up then and there.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, wait. Before you kill me, listen up. Wait, stop. Sith Lord right over there.
Guess who brought me here?
He'd said nothing. He just looked confused, like, what are you doing? This isn't part of the plan. And another 10 seconds go by without him saying a word. I'd have narked on his ass then and there.
But then we couldn't have had the big reveal later.
Everyone in these movies are stupid.
Yes.
Okay.
Like even when Obi-Wan says, "How did this happen? We're smarter than this." You're kind of not.
No, you're not. So you meet General Grievous. Nobody cares.
Yep. Nobody cares at all.
Meet pointless villain number 3.
Yep. That's all we get in these movies.
Yeah.
That's like, dude, they're shot like TV shows. Have you noticed that?
Pretty much. They're episodic.
They have villains of the week.
Yeah. There was
in
always
a blockbuster movie.
3 movies. You always had Darth Vader.
Yep.
So, pointless CGI crash that has no stakes whatsoever.
Nope.
Because you have 3 of the main characters on board. You'll be fine. Some stuff happens, and Anakin and Padme are just standing there talking about love. George Lucas, you can do CGI in space battles all you want. I don't mind. I think laser swords and space battles are fun. Don't you ever write another line of romantic dialogue as long as I live. I don't care as long as you live, because I'll kill myself.
But yeah, she's pregnant now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Because something wonderful has happened, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah. Nope. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Because the movie does.
Not once does anybody question who the father could possibly be. Maybe it's that Jedi she's always spending time with.
How is this a secret?
Pff,
How is this a secret? I don't know. Because she's not actually hiding. She's just kind of standing off to the side.
yeah, and then they're kissing in broad daylight.
Oh my God.
So what happens next?
They ask Anakin to spy on the Chancellor.
That's right. That's treason. We're at war, Anakin. Because, hey, maybe that whole Sith Lord is controlling the Senate maybe isn't that crazy, so we should have Anakin spy on him.
Yeah.
Because he's so close to... Why would you pick the closest person to the Chancellor to spy on him?
That will never backfire, ever.
And then they go to this stupid CGI opera that does nothing. It's not even fun to look at.
No, it's not.
And
It's shit on the screen.
Yeah, and then they have this long, drawn-out conversation where Palpatine basically explains to him he knows more about the Force than Anakin realizes, and he's talking about nothing but the dark side, by the way. Red flag.
Yeah. Does he question it at all?
No.
No. Anakin doesn't raise an eyebrow. He doesn't raise concern. He doesn't run out of the room screaming, "I found him! I found him!" No.
Well, that's because we missed the fact that Anakin's having prophetic dreams about Padme dying.
Oh my God.
Really? Because what you show her doing is not dying. That's childbirth. I've seen it.
Yeah, she's just screaming.
Yeah, trust me, those faces that she's using, that I've seen that face before. That's a baby coming.
Yeah.
And she even says, "I'm pregnant." You could even say you could even rationalize that. Oh, maybe she's having a kid. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's not the first time he deluded himself into believing something completely stupid.
No.
We'll get into that in a minute.
So
we spy, and then Obi-Wan goes to whatever planet this is.
Because they found General Grievous.
Yeah, they found General Grievous.
Who means basically nothing. He's basically the leader of the droid army, and killing him will end the war. Because killing Count Dooku did not do that.
So
they'll just find someone else, trust me.
Yeah. So, Obi-Wan sneaks up.
Yeah, he's got to sneak to General Grievous, by the way, because he's by himself. Did not bring Well, he did bring reinforcements. They're just not there. They're like, when you find him, give us the signal, or whatever the fuck they said.
Yeah. And since he has to be quiet, he finds the loudest fucking thing he can.
Yeah.
To ride up there to them. And they don't hear him for some reason.
Yeah, they don't. That thing is so goddamn loud.
They don't hear him at all. So he sneaks up there, and then he jumps down and cuts his head off and ends the war. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, wait, that did not happen, did it? No.
That didn't happen at all.
Because...
Nope. He just says hi to them.
Yes. Why were you sneaking around if you were just going to say hi there? In front, or hello there, in front of hundreds of droids. One of them could have pulled the trigger because his lightsaber was not even unsheathed yet.
No, it wasn't. This is stupid.
It's so dumb. And the fight scene doesn't even mean anything. It was cool to look at when he unsheathed 4 lightsabers, and then nothing happens. But
you get lightsabers. That's it. And they're chasing in a hamster wheel.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. See? Okay. Lots of stupid.
Lots of stupid. Lots of stupid. So Grievous dies.
Mm-hmm.
And basically Palpatine just lays it all out. Just like, hey, man.
For the second time, actually.
Yeah, in this movie, because Anakin's a dipshit. He basically, he didn't spell it out the first time, so we had to just come out and say it.
Yeah. Well, he straight up told you, can you learn this power? Not from a Jedi. Gee, I wonder who else it could be. So that he doesn't react then, so now he reacts.
Yeah, pulls his lightsaber on him, doesn't kill him, just goes crying to Mace Windu like, hey, I found him, and he brings in 4 Jedi. Just 4.
Just 4.
Granted, these are Jedi Masters. You could have fooled me.
To arrest a Sith Lord who's been controlling the Senate. Did they tell anyone what they were doing?
No.
No. They told absolutely fuck all. Nobody. And then everyone in the room dies.
Well, they die, but they die excruciatingly bad because they don't do anything.
Nope.
His attack, I could have seen coming a mile away because the camera pans to him, he draws his lightsaber back, growls for a second, and then stabs the guy. You couldn't block that? That attack took 5 seconds.
You're a Jedi, you can block blasters. Oh my, yeah. So
I'm not even going to get into one of the Jedi who was supposed to be the 3rd greatest lightsaber fighter in the galaxy, who also just stood there and died.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into that. So you've got, by the way, this is ridiculous. You've got 55-year-old Samuel L. Jackson and 65-year-old Ian McDermott fighting, and it looks like 2 old men fighting.
Most of McDermott's fight is CGI.
Yeah.
That's not even him.
So they fight, not that cool.
No, that's not. And by the way, why does the Emperor have a lightsaber? Does everyone have to have a lightsaber?
No, because in Return of the Jedi, he didn't have a lightsaber. He was just so powerful, he used his lightning.
He called it a Jedi weapon. It's a toy to him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he called it. He's like, that's right. It's beneath him.
Take your Jedi weapon and strike me down. It's a toy. Why does he have one?
He shouldn't.
No, neither should Yoda. But that's beside the point.
So Mace Windu beats him, which I'm still of the belief that the Emperor let him win because he had to be put in that situation for Anakin to finally make his choice.
But Anakin, he didn't know Anakin was coming back.
I think he might have sensed it.
That's never said.
It's not said, but that's another thing that's left up to interpretation, and it's stupid that I have to interpret this.
Yes, it is.
But Mace Windu has him dead to rights. He's like, oh, the oppression of the Sith will never return. He has to stand trial. What are you talking about? An hour ago,
you were going to kill him.
You had his apprentice in the exact same position, and you barely hesitated to kill him. What are you talking about?
No, it's because he needs him. He needs I can save Padme, please. So because he's shooting lightning and it's bouncing off his lightsaber, it keeps hitting in the face, right?
What should have happened was he's like, because he even says, I have the power to save your wife. That's when Mace Windu should have been like, what? And then get him. That would have been fun.
Oh my.
That would have been fun.
He's sitting there letting the lightning still hit him in the face. He just keeps doing it.
Yeah.
Which is retarded. And then Mace Windu, all of a sudden, has to kill this guy. He was going to arrest him. Now he has to kill him.
Well, he just killed three of his Jedi buddies, so he's like, oh, he's too dangerous to be left alive. Whatever, dude. I don't care. So
Anakin objects, and then he cuts his entire arm off because you couldn't just block his lightsaber.
Well, it's the best way to disarm a Jedi.
Well, yeah, sure, but still. So he shoots him out the window and with the lightning.
And what is the first thing that the Emperor tells Anakin? This pissed me off.
Oh yeah. When he says to cheat death is a power that only one has achieved, but if we work together, we might be able to find out the secret. Guess what, dude? You just got tricked.
You lied to me.
Yeah. Anakin should have been like, what?
And cut his head off.
Right then and there. No, he just says, I will do whatever you ask, my master. No, he just basically said, hey, you want to turn to the dark side? Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do that.
I mean, I was pretty much on the dark side already. Did you see the other movie?
Yeah, the whole time I was on the dark side.
Oh my god, his turn was so unbelievable,
and
not in a good way.
No, it was not surprising. It had no impact because
no weight.
because it just happened. There was nothing that led up to it.
No, it happened because the story needed it to happen.
Yep.
We know the story needed it to happen, but the way you gave it to us was insulting.
And that's the big problem with this movie is that the script is doing nothing but sloppily tying up loose ends.
Yeah,
that's all it's doing.
Because we got another hour of movie left, and we already have 4, 5, and 6 episodes that exist.
Yeah. So Anakin is ordered to go to the Jedi Temple and finish off the Jedi. And
without hesitation does he do that. You were just on the side of the Jedi this morning. There was not a second thought in his mind. He just rolls right up and starts killing everybody. That kind of turn to where you were going to kill everyone takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
Than a day.
Hours.
It takes movies. Not movie. It takes movies.
Yeah. And it's something you don't see. Because he never... Okay, here's where we get into the shit. And so he goes to the Jedi Temple and he kills kids. Okay? He kills kids. Something that he's already done.
Yeah.
And he's ordered to go to Mustafar and kill off the Separatist leaders. Now.
And wait. That's what they told him. Kill him off and just wait there.
And now Padme is told by Obi-Wan that he seed security footage of Anakin killing kids.
Which she doesn't believe. Why didn't you just show her?
Right?
Hey, your boyfriend, he killed all the Jedi.
Yeah. Here's this footage because I've seen you carry around portable holograms.
Before, yeah. But he tells her there's even footage of him killing younglings. I don't believe you. Why?
Why don't you?
Because he admitted to you in the last movie that he killed kids.
Yes. And she didn't care.
She didn't care.
So she goes and finds him. And he starts telling her that I'm more powerful than the Chancellor. I can overthrow him. No. First he tells her, I'm becoming more powerful and I'm doing it for you. 5 seconds later, he says that he's more powerful and can overthrow the Chancellor. What? You're doing it? Why? And then she says, you killed younglings.
Well, my thing is that this conversation took place in relative time, maybe about 6 hours after his turn. Maybe, give or take. Maybe a little longer. Only my new powers can save you. What new powers? You've been a Sith for 10 minutes.
You don't have any yet.
You have no new powers. You're not strong enough to take...
Matter of fact, the guy that told you about the new power doesn't have it either.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm strong enough to overthrow the Emperor. No, you're not. You most certainly are not, because you've been a Sith for 10 minutes. What makes you think that? Because you killed all these unarmed civilians and a bunch of Jedi?
And some kids?
With whom, by the way, you had help. A lot of help.
A lot of help.
Yeah, you didn't kill it. You didn't kill them all. You killed a few, and you killed a bunch of kids. The clone troopers killed the rest.
Yes, they did. And
he's spouting off about new powers and I can save you. No, you can't. You're foolish. You're fooling yourself. This movie needs to wrap up, and that's what Lucas did. He wrote himself into a corner.
Yeah, and so Padme says, I can't believe what I'm hearing. What do you mean you can't believe what you're hearing?
He said, you had this conversation before.
Yeah. Guess what? You swallowed it just fine in the last film when he told you he killed kids. But now, and you didn't care then, but now you care a lot.
Because the plot needs you to.
Because the plot needs you to care now. She says, you've changed. How?
In no way, shape, or form has he changed.
No.
He's the exact same little shit that he's been the whole time. He's openly traitorous.
Yep.
He murders children.
He's stomping around, bitching people out. None of this is new.
No. And then once she tells him that you're going down a path I can't follow, what does he immediately do to the one woman he killed Jedi, children, and everyone for? He chokes her to death.
Unbelievable. Well, near to death.
Near to death. Yeah. The one person you swore up and down you were going to save. You killed Mace Windu and a whole bunch of Jedi and kids, and you try to kill her. Just because you're having a hissy fit. You fucking piece of shit.
This is why this turn doesn't work. No. This ending is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
Oh my God, it's so bad. It's almost laughably bad. Like, I can't even.
It is.
And then Obi-Wan shows up, which, by the way, where were you the whole time? Did it take you forever to get out of that closet?
You think he fell asleep? He heard him yelling outside.
Yeah, what were you waiting for? As soon as you landed on the planet, you should have been out the door.
Yeah, don't let her go out there.
She's pregnant, you dipshit. Okay.
Oh.
So.
Protectors of peace and justice.
Okay, so then they start arguing. You've turned her against me! No. I'm pretty sure that was you. But go ahead and believe that, you little dumbass. I have brought peace, justice, freedom to my new empire.
Your
new empire.
Don't make me kill you. What?
Don't make me kill you? Who wrote this? Oh, wait.
Yeah. Lucas wrote this.
Yeah, the same guy who wrote, "You're so beautiful. That's because I'm so in love." No, because I'm so in love with you. Then love has blinded you. Fuck.
So then we have a long lightsaber fight. I don't like this fight at all.
I like the way it started, but once the controls started turning off, it got absurd.
Yeah, but dude, everything's happening so fast. They're moving so quickly in the way it's shot.
Yeah.
You can't tell what they're doing. They're just doing this.
Exactly.
They're just banging swords against each other. That's all they do. And do the part where they're on the fucking tower when it's falling into the lava and they swing out.
Yeah.
On one, and they basically give each other a lightsaber high five.
Like I say, the fight got overwhelmingly absurd.
Yeah.
Like, you should both be dead.
You absolutely should both be dead. Matter of fact, as close as you were to that lava, you should be catching on fire right now.
Yeah, because Anakin caught on fire
on the
later
land.
on the land. He just sparked fire. He was like maybe 2 feet away from it, just sparked fire. You almost fucking hell.
And then Obi-Wan, after cutting off all his arms and legs, sadistically leaves him there to burn to death.
Yeah. But he's gotta grab his lightsaber.
But Anakin, you're my brother. I loved you.
Oh God, I'm on fire!
Why don't you just go over there and cut his head off if you're just leaving him to die?
Dude, if I was over there on fire, I'd be like, please come cut my head off.
Oh God! This ending is shit.
But wait, we skipped a part because we also forgot there's another battle going on during this whole thing.
Oh yeah,
Yoda and the Emperor, the two most powerful Force users in the galaxy with lightsabers.
Yep, they have a sword fight.
Well, for a while, and then they just start throwing shit at each other.
Yeah,
and then Yoda falls. And then he's like, into exile, I must go. Failed, I have.
That's because he lost his robe. Man.
You didn't lose anything.
No.
The fight was pretty fair.
No one lost.
It was a draw.
He just fell down.
Why did
you go back up there and get him? He was hanging. You couldn't pull him down.
You didn't lose anything.
No. Into exile he must go because the plot needs him to.
Yeah. No one said, why did you have to go into exile? Maybe you should form some sort of rebellion,
Maybe. Could have been.
And then to keep Luke, okay, so Luke and Leia are born and Padme dies because she lost the will to live. Mind you, this is seconds after she just gave birth to babies.
Yeah.
Because,
Because a shithead broke her heart.
Yeah, God forbid she stays alive for her children.
Some evil, murdering asshole
Broke your heart.
broke your heart,
And you're just like,
which
"Oh,
you never should have given anyway.
nope. But these 2 kids are born. You named them. That's Luke. That's Leia.
I'm dead now.
I'm dead because I don't really want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be a single mom. Things out there are tough.
You're a senator. You'll be fine. So they decide, for the protection of the children, they need to separate them. Why?
Sure, okay.
Okay, fine, whatever. Because the plot already needed them to. And you give Leia the swanky lap of luxury parents,
Yes.
and Luke, you dump him in the sand.
You leave him on the shit planet.
And and Obi-Wan's like, I'll go with Luke to look after the boy. Really? Because he doesn't even know who you are in episode 4.
No. You kind of watch him from a distance.
Yeah, I wonder if he
guess.
means old Ben. But
Yeah,
you don't know.
Great alias there, Obi-Wan.
Not to mention, like, they don't even know each other that well when they meet again.
No.
So the dialogue makes no sense based off of what you're going to see.
Nothing matches.
Nothing matches at all.
Other than names.
Yes,
That's it.
pretty much.
This movie is a mess.
Yeah, they introduced Senator Organa in this movie just because Leia's last name had to be Organa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boy.
And they always wanted a daughter, so they'll take the kid.
Of course, yeah. Oh, boy.
So, yeah. These movies are... If you're a fan of film, if you ever want to get into making any sort of video or editing or anything like that, maybe you want to get into criticism as a hobby or whatever. Watch these movies and study them because they are master classes in bad storytelling, bad script writing, bad decisions, lazy filmmaking. He shot these things on 2 cameras, A camera and B camera, and he sat back and he drank his goddamn coffee. Everything shot on blue and green screens. They're on location, what, 5 times?
Yeah, maybe. Everything else is in a studio.
Yeah, and you can tell, too, like the part when Anakin's coming into the room when Windu's fighting the Emperor. You see him running, but then he stops and he starts walking. Yeah, it's a lot of tension you got going on there. He's not in a hurry at all. And it's because he's running out of room.
Yep.
Because they're in such a confined area. These movies are all around objectively bad. And I'm sick and tired of seeing all the shit coming up on the internet that's saying these movies are secretly good.
No, they're not.
They're not. They've never been good. Now, granted, when I first saw The Phantom Menace, I was 19.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
I was 19 years old. I won the tickets in line from a radio station because some dickhead, they were giving away tickets by throwing a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some dickhead went and asked for it. So, and I'm on crutches. I had just broke my hip.
Uh-huh.
And they said, nope, and they handed me the shirt. You could have these tickets.
Okay.
So I was excited. This is the first Star Wars that we've seen in years. So we go in, we see all this imagery and all these lightsabers. Darth Maul was cool. I walked out liking the movie.
Phantom Menace syndrome is a thing.
Yes.
It's basically convincing yourself that it's good because it's Star Wars.
Until I see my first viewing, I liked it. I went back and watched it. I watched it a second time with more friends. I didn't like it.
No.
Because then I started to, oh, wow, that did happen, didn't it? Oh, no, this doesn't make any sense, does it? And then episode 2 came out, and I was done. Because that was, I'm telling you guys, don't let anyone let me say this another way. If you like these movies, that's fine. You like what you like. You're not wrong for liking them. But understand that they are bad movies.
But that's also your opinion. Opinions are subjective, but the majority of people believe that it's not because you're right. On the most basic level, the dialogue is the biggest problem. because nobody in their right mind would say these things.
No, they wouldn't.
The script writing is where it all started.
Yeah, it's awful. The script writing's awful. Yes, there are some good ideas.
And there are some fun moments.
Had Lucas actually sat back and reread what he wrote and said, "Oh, I need to change this. This is boring. I need to add some action here. Let's add some character development here. Let's come up with a better reason for the Jedi to be on Tatooine other than they need a part for their ship." I mean, it's Tatooine. These movies are fan service.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. I mean, Anakin Skywalker made C-3PO. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, give me a break. At least R2's introduction was acceptable. He's just an astromech droid doing astromech work, and he's already there. They needed, he was already there. He wasn't there because somebody built him. He was already on the ship they needed to get out. He was just there by happenstance.
Yeah, which is fine.
I was totally fine with the way they introduced R2. C-3PO, no.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I'm not saying that anyone that likes these movies is wrong.
Like what you like,
and I'm not exactly right. I wouldn't say that I am, but these. I mean, just going on basic logic, following these stories, they don't make sense, and that's why I don't like them. Because you can't follow them. There's too many unanswered questions. There's too many unexplained organizations, motivations. None of it makes sense, and it makes my brain hurt. It's just
a series that's just riddled with plot holes for me that make absolutely no sense, go nowhere, aren't explained, or are explained too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you over-explain the Force, but you don't tell me what they're fighting about.
Yeah, you tell me you give me midichlorians, but you can't tell me what the Sith is. You could have skipped the midichlorians entirely and just told me what the Sith was.
Yeah.
Or what their beef is. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to read books to get a movie.
No, you shouldn't. You should never, ever have to read a source material to enjoy and understand a film. Ever.
That's not how it works.
It's not. But that's what the prequels are in a nutshell. You kind of have... And the only reason I knew what a Sith was is because I was a Star Wars fan.
You knew they were evil Jedi.
Yeah, and that's
it.
Yeah. So wow, we've
ranted for a while.
Yes, we have. We have talked at length about these movies.
We're at the 1.5 hour mark.
Holy moly!
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up here soon.
Oh my God, I'm glad we got that out of the way.
I feel better.
I do too. I had a lot to say about these movies. I really.
Oh, trust me, I know. I was sitting here like. No, dude, go on. You're pretty much saying what I was going to say anyway.
Yeah, right?
So join us next week, I guess, where we'll have a lot more positive things to say about Star Wars.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to get into the original trilogy. Movies that pretty much changed the landscape of cinema.
And 100% stand the test of time.
Yes, they do.
All three of them.
We'll get into that.
Okay. I might know